We are now recording the February 5th, 2016 Small Business Accounting Advisors demoing 17 Hats integration with QuickBooks Online. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
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 And we will have our special Joanne demoing for us. We have Mariette and I'm sorry, is it Ryan?
Yes.
At the 17 Hats office. So
Live from the 17 Hats office.
yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Mariette. So Joanne, I'm going to let you take it away.
Take it away, because I was so excited about it. Because you guys know that I was a big desktop fan.
I know you jumped ship and left me all by myself.
I know it was the
And the day
No.
I think the day that I got that email, I immediately went just switched everything up to online. Just moved all my stuff to QuickBooks Online.
Pressure's on.
So I've had the opportunity to do a little bit of testing, and now I've switched it to where my clients that are doing my monthly, that do like monthly accounting or any monthly payment services for me, now whenever I invoice them through 17 Hats, it just magically appears in my QuickBooks Online, and the payment magically syncs with my bank feeds, and I like have to do nothing.
I like the magical part.
I love it.
You don't have to remember anything. It just
does it. Yeah.
automatically.
But you just forgot to send all her invoices.
No, you don't do that, because 17 Hats automatically remembers for me.
Ooh.
It's like monthly billing. I just say when I set it up the first time, I just tell it when I want it to send out the first of every month. I know I get all my emails that all my clients got their, and then all of a sudden I hear this click, 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 and I get all my emails that say somebody paid, somebody paid, somebody paid.
Oh,
And you don't have to do anything.
it's beautiful.
Is
What
this
about
sound
the ACH agreements? Do you handle that? Do you have ACH?
Oh, ACH.
Yeah.
In fact, that is, oh gosh, I don't want to give you a hard release date, but our dev team is literally putting the code in this week.
Nice.
Really?
ACH.
Because
So,
I have setups where I just draft them on the 3rd of the month or whatever. And
yeah.
so really I'm sending them receipts more than invoices.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll share my screen. Okay, so keep in mind, guys, that there's only so much I can show you because of some of the confidentiality stuff. So whatever areas I won't show that maybe Ryan or Mariette could show with their demo thing, like, okay, so let me move this out of the way. So, okay, so we're in 17 Hats. And first of all, I wanted to just touch for a second on the lead capture of 17 Hats. You can actually embed a lead capture form either on your website or on Facebook. And I just wanted to show you for a second. I have it on my Facebook page here for my No Fuss Accounting Services. Anybody who wants a free 30-minute discovery session so we can figure out what as far as they need for their accounting or bookkeeping services or whatever, they can click my Book Now button. And what happens is that this is like the test of it. The app opens up and it automatically comes down to, once Facebook rolls in, there we go. So it says, how about a free discovery session? And so here you can customize this to say whatever you want to capture whatever information you want. Name, email, and then I just put in something where, what are your top 3 pain points for your business? And then they can hit submit. And once they do that, it automatically brings them into my 17 Hats as a lead for me to process, whether I decide I want to activate a workflow to have them set up a training session with me, or the 30-minute video call, or Zoom call or telephone call, whichever they want to do. It automatically brings that information into 17 Hats, which I think is just absolutely wonderful. And the one thing I wanted to ask Ryan,
Yes.
and this is my wish list, is I want an integration with Aweber, MailChimp, and Constant Contact.
Yes.
Is that going to be happening?
So that's one of the things that we're actually in the middle of talking about that. So it's good that you bring that up.
Yes.
Well, and it's specifically because, again, we made this product about a year ago. So it's been commercially available for a little over a year. And the ways that people have used it has really, really surprised us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're thinking about that. So originally we created the lead capture as part of really things that you need to manage your business, not ever thinking about the marketing and the outreach. So we are in internal discussions for how we do those integrations moving forward, how we want that service to work, but it's definitely something on our radar. So,
wonderful. Well, if you need somebody to beta test that,
Yeah.
And we'll have another hangout with that too.
Yeah.
I'm on Aweber, and I'm dying to just have that one less.
So far, what we've been able to say is like, okay, we don't have it yet, but now that all your leads are organized and all of your to-do list is taken care of, you should have the time to use something like MailChimp or Aweber. But yeah, we're definitely so
Cool.
we like that.
All right, I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course.
So, okay, so I'm going to head on over to, I'm going to call up one of my contacts that has said that I can show her invoices. So here's an example of somebody that has a very small payment to me each month for services that I provide. And I have this invoice for her set up as, you'll see here, it's set up as a recurring invoice. So it's something that goes out to her same time every single month. I have it pre-set up ahead of time with an email template for it. And so this shows me the list of her the 5 ones that she's done so far. See, look at that. I did that. That's probably almost the day you guys released this. So she's been paying it every month. This one is going to be due in 3 days. So this next one's going to be due in 3 days. So if I wanted to take a look at this invoice, I can click on it, view the invoice, and it'll say here, like, it gives you all the information. It gives you the date that they viewed it.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's cool. So you can tell when they open.
I like that.
So it gives you the date that you created it, the date you sent it, the date they viewed it. So she viewed it twice. Well, actually, no, it looks like it's at the same time. So she viewed it on January 4th. She actually paid it on January 4th.
Mhm.
And she used I happen to have it set up with the PayPal integration at this point in time. And so she paid using her PayPal, and then it comes back in, it says she paid it. And then like right here, because I have, and I'll show you how to set up the QuickBooks integration, but because I have it set up, it says right here to view the invoice in QuickBooks. So now what the integration is it's basically a push. It basically pushes your invoice. It pushes the payment into the QuickBooks Online. And if you don't currently have the customer set up, it'll automatically set the customer up for you. So you don't have to worry about that. And then it'll sit there in the transactions. And then when your bank feed comes in, it will match up the payment to the transaction that you have already proactively posted inside of QuickBooks. So if you click on this link, view invoice in QuickBooks, it will automatically come to the invoice page. And it's like, here it comes, and there it is. So it's already inside of QuickBooks. It's already marked as paid. It already shows the payment, which it can go to, and it's linked it to the product and services that I have online, and it gives you the original date, the due date, and it shows the date that she paid it right here. And that it pushes over pretty fast too. So yeah, so that's that. And then the next part of it, which I really can't show you, is how when it comes into the bank feeds, the bank feed actually matches it up. You know how when you have to do your matching inside of your QBO,
It's green.
What's that?
It's green when it's
it turns green, and it comes in when my PayPal syncs, it comes in and turns it green. And so what I've been doing is, because I know a lot of people have always complained about the issues with PayPal syncing with QuickBooks, the way this actually comes in, because it comes in at that gross amount, that $25 will come in, it matches it up very easily. And then what I do is I just go to PayPal once a month and I total up my fees and then just make an adjustment once a month to balance my PayPal and record the PayPal fees. And I'm done. And everything matches for the month. So, I mean, not having to do that whole step of receiving a payment and then depositing it into the PayPal account and making sure that the invoice is paid, it saves you so much time. I just love it. So how you set it up is you go up to the My Account at the top right corner, and there's account settings. And you're going to scroll down to where it says your integrations. It has like a little cloud. And this is where they start to list all of the integrations that they have connected. They have ShootProof for the photographer people, and then they have it shows it right here. And it is literally a matter of clicking the button and signing into your account. And then what you can do when you need to get started for the first time, you can actually choose you can choose this button right here that says import invoices. And what that will do is that if you have any invoices that are already sitting in your system in your 17 hats ahead of time, if like I had 15 or 20 invoices that I needed to bring in so I could be, going to January 1st, it automatically brought them in to QuickBooks for me.
So they're bringing in open invoices from QuickBooks, all the open
well, most of mine were all paid because my clients pay me like this. My terms are due on receipt. So mine were all invoices that I needed to at least get put in and then show them as paid in the system.
Got it.
So Gina's question was how to attach something to an invoice, correct?
Yes,
So,
when you're sending out an invoice, can
Okay.
you put an attachment? I have a client that this would work wonderfully with, and they have it's a 1.5-page disclaimer that you really can't put into an invoice.
Right. So if I just called up my XYZ company. So if I just quickly add an invoice, okay, and we're totally bypassing the whole doing it inside of a workflow. But let's just say we'll add an item. We'll add some accounting and tax services, and we will charge them $2 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Way to go, Joanne.
Think-
I like it.
Yeah.
Think bigger, go home. That's what I say.
And
Right?
these are items that are set up in your QuickBooks that it's
Yeah.
brought over.
You have to make sure they're all set up. Yep. So here's the 2 million, right? Now here's where you can choose. This was the brilliant part of it here. Sarah, see this? It says recurring invoice. So if you want $2 million every single month,
Yeah.
you just click on that one and then it'll prompt you to, do you want to send one a month? Which email template you send out, you set up your template, your email templates ahead of time, and you want it to never end because you want to get $2 million forever.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can set up a recurring invoice, or another good one, which is one that I just actually used I just used this the other day, Ryan, was the payment schedule.
Yeah.
That was really cool because I had a client where we kind of came up with I was going to do monthly accounting, but then I was also going to do kind of an upfront cleanup work that I gave them a flat fee for, and I just told them they could divide it over 3 months. And it was a matter of clicking this button, and you could do custom payments or equal payments, and actually it's just so easy to be able to.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
to customize. So we have $2 million. Let's hurry up and get this invoiced out to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we go to send the invoice, this is the draft. This is kind of what it looks like right now. And then we're going to hit send. Actually, we can hit preview.
Yeah.
So
What if you wanted to add some verbiage right before you send it?
you can do it. I'll show you. So here's what it looks like if it's online, right? If you wanted to send verbiage, like what? Like,
Oh, I don't know.
Thank you for your business. It's
Yeah, great.
that's where it
you know.
comes. So when you hit send invoice, this is where it comes up with your little email. Okay. So when
You're saying put it on the email, not on the invoice?
correct. Or you could do it like that. You could actually, if you wanted to, you could go edit,
Edit the invoice.
Yeah, I want
You
to see
can
that.
edit, and then you can either, what I do sometimes is I just add like a plain item and just say text.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And then you can actually edit it, and then you can just type in whatever you want in the description.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of how I did it. Or
Okay.
you could hit edit here and just add something more in the description. I keep it real simple for the most part. And then, so you go to send the invoice, right? This is where the invoice comes up. You can choose whatever templates you have, right? Invoice past due, monthly payroll, all the different invoices I have set up. So let's just say we do an invoice past due. You can customize this. You can use these insert tokens where you can choose first name, last name, company name. You can add your logo, however you want to do it.
Nice.
Down here, Gina, is where it says attach file.
Okay, got it. So
You just click and attach a file if you want to, like, privacy policy or whatever.
can you do that inside of a workflow so that whenever the invoice is created?
Brian, I don't think so. I think you have to, you mean if it's the same thing each month?
Well, yeah, it would be the same thing. It's a long disclaimer. It would need to go with every
I'm not
invoice.
sure, Ryan, can that be
Add it to a template?
permanently to a template?
Add an attachment to a template is a
Yes.
question, right?
Permanently. Should we go check? Let's go in templates and check.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out.
That's why I love these. I always learn something.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's my templates. Let's
You're with the
go
right
to
group.
okay, here's an email. Let's do a contract. You have a signed contract. We'll go to edit this. Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah.
I think you can because the
Oh,
option's
nice.
here.
Because that's exactly what it would be. It would be
Yep.
a contract. And that's
Yep.
why there's such big verbiage there.
Yeah, I think you can. Because you can actually, but here's the thing too, Gina, is that if you wanted to, you could actually set up, and this is, and Mariette, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're using the contract for your engagement letters, right?
I do an initial engagement letter for tax prep that goes through 17 hats, and then I do my finals through Right Signature. So I do have a contract through 17 hats. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and you use the contract template that you just copy and paste.
Contract template. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So, I mean, that's something where if it was, just a matter of attaching that little same boilerplate disclaimer, I'm assuming because you were seeing it here in the templates that there's the attachment option there that it would stay there.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah, that's my excitement.
So one of these days, if I have an ACH agreement, maybe it'll automate, do the invoice,
Mhm.
draft their account,
Yep.
push it
Yeah.
to the accounting, and
Exactly.
I don't have to do a thing.
Yeah. So I'm going to go off screen share now because I think the other thing that I'd like people to see is, Mariette, can you show some of your rocking workflow stuff?
Sure. But Gina, do you want to answer any questions? Are there any questions you want to cover? Or
Joanne answered my question. I don't know, does anybody else have any questions?
I do have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
I sent a private message, but I was looking at the recurring invoicing. Do 17 hats know the difference between 4 and 5 week months?
Oh, probably not.
Well, why would you need that? I mean, if you're talking about
Restaurants.
once a month, it would be the first Tuesday or the second Tuesday, or it would be every 15th, or where would you need to know between 4 and 5?
So I've got a national franchise client that I was kind of looking at, and they have tutors that go out and do weekly tutoring. So for during that tutoring, they send out recurring invoices, but every 5th month they have to go in and edit that invoice for 20, 50, 75 students and change that billing, and it sucks.
So
Yeah.
could you
Some of them are going
possibly,
bi-weekly billing, and some of them are just enduring the pain. But
I was wondering if the solution might be to do the payment options and calculate it out for the time period and divide it by however many weeks and send it out. Can you send it out by week though? I don't know if you could.
Yeah, it's
Why not?
kind of a pain. That's what some of them are going to biweekly billing. It was just a thought, and I'm looking at maybe introducing
I have
the
an idea.
franchisor to that solution.
Okay, someone had a question?
Somebody has an idea.
No, I have an idea, and that is why not have one invoice that invoices for 4 weeks that's reoccurring, and have another invoice that invoices for 5 weeks, and then any month that there's 5 weeks, you switch over. Granted, you'd have to switch. You'd have to say this one's this month, but you could
Right.
name them by the month.
Yeah, that's certainly
Yeah.
a possibility, but
That's a good one.
I see it on multiple. That was just one of the pain points I was looking at solving for them. We've been actually using QuickBooks for a long time, but I can see where 17 hats might work for them on a larger scale.
Mhm.
Got it.
So I do have a question for Ryan.
Yeah.
Does 17 Hats integrate with QuickBooks Online Canada?
Ooh, with QuickBooks Online Canada, I do not believe so just yet. I would double check the functionality. I know that we're not working with QuickBooks Online in the UK yet, and I think that the same holds true for Canada. And a lot of that is just the amount of work to get through the legal loopholes and banking industry loopholes. We just have not been able to swallow that. So, yeah. So far, I'm not sure. You can try it out, but I know that a lot of those places were not set up yet, though eventually we want to be.
Okay, great. And that answers Tiffany's question.
There you go.
Anybody else have any questions? Silence? Okay.
I think they may be ready for me then.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Joanne.
They are ready.
Okay, awesome. So, all right. So yeah, let's talk workflows and templates. And I'm going to take this from a tax preparer's perspective. As I'm sure everybody knows, Joanne and I have been 17 Junkies for about a year. I give it to Joanne. She pretty much called me on a Friday and I was hooked, and I've been hooked ever since. So thank you, JoJo, for that. I love you. And so let me tell you what I've done. So let's kind of start. I love how she started with the lead capture, because this is what excited us both. It's basically starting with our process from the lead, because I'm assuming that's where everybody starts with a customer, is with their lead.
Yeah.
So I also have it embedded on my website. I've gone a little bit more in depth in regards to the way I capture a new prospect. The reason why is I actually use it almost as a vetting process, almost like a virtual assistant. So I can get a good idea on if this is a customer that I want based on their answers to the lead capture form. So I have 2 lead captures. I have my accounting capture and I have my tax prep capture. On my tax prep capture, I ask some questions in regard to their tax preparation services. So for instance, do they want personal taxes, business taxes? Are they an investor? Are they all of those things? So, I ask those kind of things. I also make sure that they've gone to my webpage, that they basically have watched my video, because I want them to know that I'm an online tax practice. So that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
And I also capture some information like, are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? And obviously this is good. Like, how did they find me? So, they found me on BWAM. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So this is an example of someone finding me, right? So I'll show you. So this is really where my process starts. They fill this up and then they submit. This is pretty much what.
Wonderful.
And those are both 17 Hats lead captures embedded on your website.
Exactly. So
Brilliant.
yeah, so I have my accounting and my taxes, because those are 2 different practices. I have different people to help me in that practice. So that's how that grows. So automatically they get this little message that says the magic has started.
Nice.
I love it.
Okay. So then that's okay. So now let's just see. I'm hoping, this is my idea. I'm really hoping that it comes up quickly. So there it is. I have one lead.
Woo! Yes, I got a lead from JoJo.
From JoJo. That's Joanne, of course. So Joanne wants to play with me and she wants to do taxes with me. So I'm super excited. So I read the lead capture and then I get an idea on, if we can move forward just from here. And I was telling Ryan this has actually become my assistant, because if they haven't done some of the things that I actually want them to do, like watch my video or give me my required answers, that's when my virtual assistant will call them and say, hey, let's go and talk about Marietta a little bit more. And so that's what happens at the lead capture part.
Love it.
So once I know that I want to move forward with this lead, what I do, oh, and by the way, see that on the right? Not only do I get a lead capture, but I get an email. A lead capture.
Yep.
Really
Nice.
cool. Okay. So now I want to work with JoJo. I'm super excited. And so now I'm going to.
JoJo's excited too.
Yeah, I know. You and I were always excited together. So here we go. But we're actually going to work with Mary. Don't feel offended because I already have her set up. So,
Aww.
Sorry. Okay. So Mary Salas, let's work with her. So the first thing that happens with Mary Salas is I'm going to create a new project. So I'm going to jump through the assessment call that I do, or, Joanne calls it her discovery session.
Mm-hmm.
We did all that. I like her. We're going to move forward. So I'm going to add her as a new project, which in my language is actually a new tax return.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say 2015 taxes. Okay. So I can add her to my Google Calendar, which is awesome. So she's going to be in my taxes calendar, and I'm going to save. So now she has a tax project. Okay. So super excited about that. So let's come over here real quick and let me go into the project. I'm also going to skip some steps just like Joanne, because I can't show you my whole 17 hats because there's customer stuff in here. So I'm going to skip a few things. Okay. So anyway, so now she's on a project, and let's go backward just a minute, because I really think this is incredibly important. So obviously you guys all know, as we talked about in Seth's Hangout, that, there was things that Joanne and I and everyone that's in 17 hats had to have done before we even got to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so let's just talk a little bit about that. So the first thing we would have done is we would have created templates, right? So let's go over to our templates. Oh, here, my accounting settings.
And so you got to your templates by going to the settings?
Yeah, so I go to my,
account
up here on
settings,
top, my account settings. These are all the settings for the actual profile of 17 hats. This is where Joanne was. She was in bookkeeping and integrations. I'm going to be in my templates. So on my templates, this is basically how I set up my automated templates. So those would be my contracts, my emails, my quotes. And so right here under new template, these are the type of templates you can create. Since my process is more of like a 5-step, really like an email process, because I send a lot of emails, most of my templates are emails. But as Joanne mentioned, I also have a contract.
Yes.
So if you come here to the bottom, which is awesome, I have a contract called my initial engagement letter for preparation services. And so what I do is I have a full-blown contract here between me and my new prospect, or at this point, they're already a client. I go into obviously all the legalities of my fees and what I'm responsible, what they're responsible for. And at the very end, they have to sign it. So I don't even start tax preparation until they sign the contract, which I think is, CYA, right? We're covering our butts. So that's important. There's different ways for them to sign. They can sign and then it's automatically signed by me, or countersign means they sign and I have to sign after. So those are things. Or they can not require a signature, but at that point, what's the point? Because they should sign something, right? So I don't ever use not required. But anyway, so then that's what happens. So there's an example of a contract template. But what I get really excited about are the automated emails that go out during the tax prep. So just so you guys get an idea on how that works for me, let's just go, oops. Let me go back here really quickly, because this is where I feel it's really critical for you guys or whoever uses 17 hats to create a process first and then implement 17 hats. If you go backwards and try to just go into 17 hats, it's not going to work. So I already have a process. My online tax process is gather my documents, submit the forms, which they submit onto my website through an encrypted web page. Then the tax prep begins, clock starts ticking. Then I review, finalize, and approve, pay, sign, and deliver. So I have a 5-step process for every single tax return. So what I decided to do is I decided to create that same process in 17 hats. So for instance, step 1, gather the documents. Step 2, upload the
Are you
documents.
still
Step-
screen sharing?
You're not screen sharing.
I can see your screen, so I was like really like,
Okay,
yes,
so-
this looks great.
So where is
You're
the
sitting next to her, Ryan.
I went to
screen
advantage.
sharing? What
Y'all don't
happened?
even know. I just got so much knowledge.
What happened? How did I
I don't know.
disconnect?
I don't know.
Just hit screen. You might have clickety too fast. I know you never do that, but
Oh,
It's too amazing.
yeah, but where is she? Where is the actual?
down at the bottom there's a little green box that says share screen.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Got it.
wow.
There.
Okay,
Thank
there
you
we go.
guys.
Oh, no worries. I just wondered. I
Wow,
just
that
looked up and I
that
didn't
totally
see
got
it.
disappeared. Okay, you see me now? Okay, so here we go.
Beach.
So this is where I was showing you.
Is that you?
Where
Is
did
that
we
you on the
stop?
beach?
Yeah, this is
Okay,
me.
okay,
Did we
okay.
stop it right here where I was showing you? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right,
Yeah.
we'll go through that quickly. Then what I decided to do is I decided to implement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So 1 would be gathering docs, 2 would be, you know, so on and so forth. So since I already had my process before I started 17 Hats, I copied, you know, Joanne was the bookkeeping. She went like buck wild craziness over the bookkeeping. I go crazy over the workflows because literally this is my little robot that works for me at night, in the middle of the night. So this is the way the workflows work. So basically when you're creating a workflow, you can create a different type of action to do. So the to-do is like a reminder, and action is actually, it does something for you. So it sends an email for you, questionnaire for you. Pause means take a minute, take a breath, pause the workflow until the next step happens. Just kind of a simple explanation of how those work. So for me, this is my workflow. First, and I use Smartsheet because I also love Smartsheet. First thing I do is I update all my information from Smartsheet into 17 Hats. Next is gathering documents. After that is I confirm the client responded to me. After that, I send a contract. After that, I check my encrypted folder that all their documents are. I check that. So it pretty much goes through the entire process of what I do. Mm-hmm. So that's the workflow. Again, Joanne and I both know that you have to build it. It doesn't happen magically. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to stop and pause for a moment and bring Dennis on. Dennis uses Smartsheets and has created a Smartsheet workflow for his clients during tax season.
Yeah. And actually, Dennis, I have to thank Dennis and Seth because him and I were sharing our Smartsheet spreadsheets last year, and that's how I built out my actual Smartsheet visual workflow. So, I mean, I don't want to go into Smartsheets. We can talk about that another day, but basically Smartsheet is a full encompassing and comprehensive view of every client at every moment in every status. That's what Smartsheet provides. 17 Hats, you can see it. I'm going to be honest, you can't see it that well visually, but Smartsheet allows you to do that. So that's why I use Smartsheet together with 17 Hats. I use them both basically. Mm-hmm. So now let me just show you how this magic works in real life. So let's just pretend now I'm ready to actually have Mary Salas turn into one of my customers. So what I do is I go into Mary Salas. So this is the project, tells me her email address, information on her, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to start a workflow. So I'm going to click on workflow and I'm going to say these are the workflows. So you name your workflow. So I have a workflow for a new client. I have a workflow for a current client. I have a workflow just for an assessment call. That would be like Joanne's discovery call. Mm-hmm. And then I have a workflow if I literally just need to send them an engagement letter. So those are my workflows at this point. This is just for taxes. So let's say I want to start the workflow today. So I'm going to activate the workflow. So look at that. All of that work, all those emails that I've done manually for years, they're all there. They're literally all there. So I'm going to click on this because let's pretend I already went and got my information from Smartsheet, went to the profile. Then I'm going to click on review. This is the very first email that goes out. Hey, let's get started on your taxes. Look at how long this email is. Guys, I used to type this up every single year for every single client, for hundreds of clients. Wow. Now it's all there. Is that magical? I'm sorry, that's magical. So, and not only is it magical, but look at everything I can put in there. I can put links in there. Those are hyperlinks. Nice. I can put an image of my logo from my website. Mm-hmm. And then this is for you, Gina. Every one of my clients, because I spoil them rotten, I actually give them a checklist in Excel of what they're supposed to deliver to me. Well, look at this. I attached, look at that pretty picture of me and Steph. Oh, so cute.
Where'd you get that? That's awesome.
Oh, that's me. I take pictures like crazy. That's all me. So, and that was not intentionally, actually. But that was kind of cool. That just came up. So
it just worked out well.
There's my checklist.
I didn't know we had a bear
in Excel. Oh no, I have a bear. You
have a bear. Oh,
that's
gosh.
Valentino. I have to introduce
all right, Valentino.
Yeah, Valentino.
Right, okay.
So there it is. So there is the checklist for my customer. They get this beautiful email with an absolute detail, probably more than they ever want to read in their life, of what needs to be done. And
could you have added that? Could you have added that Excel in your template? Or
I could, Sarah, and let me tell you why I don't. Because every single checklist is customized to every customer.
Okay.
So I have to just add that up really quickly, in the time. Now, funny enough, I thought to do it your way, where I would attach it already. But then I felt like I was constantly editing, and that was not working for me. So that's why I attach it this way. So let me just send this to myself so you guys can see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead, send this to myself. And because I think they have amazing internet here, I'm going to fingers and see if, woo, look at that. Oh my God, this is my day. There's, look at that. Oh, that is amazing. There's
You just got your notice that you got it too.
I got the notice that I got it. And this is my customer. This is Mary Salas. There's that beautiful email. Look at this. This is a checklist on my website. I embedded it in my website, and there it is. So all my checklists are part of that email, and voila, that's how the workflows work.
And so you have this paused so that you can review it and you can add that checklist and you can put the amount of money you'll be charging and all of that and absolutely send it out much quicker than you used to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't, honestly, I'll be honest. I did about 200 checklists in like 3 days. That used to take me almost 2 weeks.
Ugh.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Is it still for a sole practitioner, or can you work with staff on your client list?
Okay, so right now it's still a single account. That being said, we have we built it originally for solo entrepreneurs, but we have like pretty typically companies of 1 to 5 use this. They all log into the same account. They can see the same information. They can all work with it the same. We are adding true multi-user, hopefully in Q2, and that's one of the things that's on our roadmap. So we're hoping for that to be able to have different logins for the same account and specific to-do lists for people that are automatically built into workflows. So you can have a team where you set a workflow, get a new lead, you hit a workflow, everybody on the team knows which pistons should fire when, and the engine starts humming. So that is coming up soon. And
what's cool about all these workflows is that, like, the way Mariette has it is like, she has the different process, and then she has it, like, where it'll go on pause until she waits till if she gets the information back. So she's always in check as the exact step that each client is in the process. Now, if you like some of the workflows that I have set up, for example, with some of my clients where I might do more consulting work, what I'll do is I'll have a workflow set up after that initial call. I set up the initial call. Actually, they come into the lead capture, and my first process is they get an automatic email that links them to my calendar to book the 30-minute session. So I automatically do a hyperlink to my online scheduler. They book the call. Then it sits on pause. After that meeting, and they decided they want me to give them a proposal, I can then create that proposal in 17 Hats and send them the quote, right? The quote that they can pick options. You can pick and choose what you want, and then the invoice automatically calculates. So if they accept the quote, they sign the contract, then the invoice can automatically get sent. They can pay you, and it automatically goes into QuickBooks Online. You don't even have to do anything.
you guys want to see that?
Sure.
Yeah, show them that. That's amazing.
Yeah, sure.
And while you're going there, I want to say that Tiffany has said that it sounds like 17 Hats needs a Canadian beta tester. She's all over it. Just an FYI for you guys.
Keep in mind, we have a lot of people in Canada who use 17 Hats. In fact, the director of customer service, who is, of course, being Canadian, the most polite human I've ever met in my life. She's from Toronto, and I think we have 4 employees in total in Canada. So yeah, Canada is definitely in the sights. We just have, there's more hoops to jump through with the banking industry to make all the QuickBooks and bookkeeping work there. So we don't have all that up working yet, but we will soon, hopefully. All right, I'm going to share my screen and just show you that real quick feature with the proposal to contract to invoice. That sound good?
Great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Google Chrome. Share screen. All right. You see that? Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the Cerebellum account. Now, okay, keep in mind, this is a test account we use. It's a wedding photographer's account. This one isn't an account, but you can sort of extrapolate how the same thing might work for you. All right. So let's say you got your new lead, Paul Wind from Facebook. Hi, Paul Wind. And let's see, what's going on with Paul? Oh, he wants a wedding. He's getting married. It could be tax prep. Let's say, let's change out the word wedding for tax prep. He wants tax prep. We'll go in and we'll give him his very romantic, tax prep, AKA wedding workflow. We'll activate that. And let's see, Paul Wind. Come on, internets. There we go. And it automatically brings us to our Paul Wind wedding workflow. And even when I did that, first of all, a fun thing about workflows, so it'll do some stuff automatically. You can have it pause and wait to review, but the moment I assigned, like with this one in particular, the moment I assigned it, it automatically sent him a questionnaire asking him all the pertinent detail. Like this could be where, for you guys, this is tax prep, it could have just automatically sent them a questionnaire saying like, okay, in the web form, you filled out these questions, and this is where it's like, are you an S Corp? Are you a C Corp? If you're somebody who needs a tax ID number, you can ask that. So you can ask specific questions even within that as soon as you hit a questionnaire to help turn that lead into a client. But specifically for our purposes, let's look at the proposal. Let's say he filled out the questionnaire. I thought it was a good fit. I had a little checklist there, like, yeah, it's a good fit. I want to do that. And then I can either automatically send or review that proposal. So this is what the client experience would be, is what we just talked about. It put in that product, the project automatically, their project name, the date, all the relative information. So they can go through, they can pick out exactly what service they want, what those specific things are. So it takes some of the haggle out of it. We found that actually helps encourage client behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you be able to communicate more value for your product while increasing their customer experience, while saving you a whole bunch of time. So, they did this package, they could have added extra consulting. This is totally customizable to you. Know it and accept. And there you go. That looks great. And next, view contract. It took all that data, all that was put into the contract.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and of course, they can go through and, my name is Paul Wynn, so there's places to initial. You can add in places for them to do short answer or signature within the contract.
If they skip something, will it stop them?
Huh? Yeah, it will. It will not let them move on until they have fulfilled all the obligations therein. And then
I love how they could put initials. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
really neat. And then
And if they don't initial, it won't let them go to the next thing.
no, and if they
Nice.
use a different spelling of their name, even right here, it's going to stop it.
Yeah, that happened the other day to a client of mine. She typed in Sandy, and her name is Sandra, and that's what I put on the contract. And she typed in Sandy. Like, it
Oh,
won't
yeah, the same thing happened with a client. She was so
Yeah.
What's
frustrated
our legal name?
with the contract. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and you can,
Awesome.
of course, you can go into the lead and edit the contact. It'll fix that. But legally, it's way better we protect ourselves and be on the safe side, because this is thankfully legally binding. Another great thing, again, with even the contract, it is also time stamped, so you can always go into a system. You can see the moment they read it. So we had somebody the other day who was able to avoid a lawsuit because she was like, no, I have timestamps of when you viewed the proposal and when you viewed the contract.
Exactly.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So it wasn't even a deal. So there we go. Sign contract.
And then they can print a copy.
Yep, and there's the invoice. Pay me.
Pay invoice.
Yes, up there you got
print.
the print copy. So the whole time they can print, and then here's the invoice, and then they can pay it.
Can they
Right.
partial pay it, like a 50% if that's the agreement? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. So depending on how you have the payment set up for the invoice.
Other, okay.
So there you go.
Ooh, I love ACH though.
Yes, and that is, believe me, that is like literally the next thing on the docket. We have our new iPhone app coming out. We just submitted it to the Apple Store today, so we are just waiting on their approval. And we have the iOS app and then the Android app following shortly thereafter, but ACH is the next thing on the radar after that. So we are very, very close, and a lot of work has already been done on it.
What happens if two of us sign it at the same time from two workstations? Does it go, hey, Sarah's already in, or?
I mean, it's fine. Yeah, we don't have any lockout. So you can, like example, this is our test account.
Mhm.
So if you see us at a conference or whatnot, there will be like 6 of us signed into the same account using the system. And it kind of gets a little bit ridiculous and drives our customer service director crazy, because she built this, and of course we're all adding new accounts to it and new workflows. It gets a little bit wild.
Well,
Huh?
So it would, if you have one account, so the system is going to date and timestamp like what we're doing. Is there not audit trail of what we're doing? It's just that I won't know if I did, which of my staff did it.
Yeah. Right now you don't know which staff person did it.
But it's still doable if that's not important, if that's not that
correct.
critical to me right now.
It's very, very common where we have a shop with 4 or 5 people all using the same account.
Mhm.
When it gets down to it, it's just a fantastic,
Well,
it's
that made my day. Okay.
project management. It's the best elements of CRM. It's a lot of those key, critical, the working mechanisms of all those things brought together to work as one, rather than having 4 or 5 different websites use everything. Yeah, there you go. So that is that portion of how that works: proposals, contract invoicing. And one time, some of the new people attached a wedding workflow to me at a conference, and I had about 40 invoices to pay for a wedding
In your inbox.
in my email, and I was like, "Thanks, guys. This is going to," and of course, just to show you that it works. To this day, I still get those emails reminding me that I have an invoice I haven't paid.
Wow.
That they haven't had to mess with, and it takes the teeth out of it, so you never have any question with that with a client.
I was looking at the chat. Somebody was talking about plain text is best for things like this. I'm very visual, so my contracts, my client guide, and everything is so font
Sarah,
crazy.
Let me tell you, I wrote that. So someone was actually asking about, can you bring in emails and turn them into templates?
Uh-huh.
So Joanne and I went through this when we first started. So first, when you start creating templates, create it in Word first.
Right.
Then basically paste it in this plain text, but then you can get as fancy as you want. You can add images, links.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but always keep it simple, right, Joanne? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I would suggest that you type up everything inside of either Word or a plain text editor that has no formatting on it whatsoever. Once you have all the verbiage in that you want, you copy and paste it into the 17 Hats template. It makes it so much easier to be able to then break out your paragraphs and do your hyperlinks and get as fancy as you want once it's inside of 17 Hats. But you don't want to copy it formatted into 17 Hats.
Definitely not.
But like I have contract groupings that are like in my company colors and can I do that once I'm in 17 Hats, start formatting?
You mean coloring the page?
No, I'll have like I have to look at a contract. You know how there's just sections of the contracts, the different paragraphs, and I have headers.
Oh, yeah, you can change text color.
Yeah, you can change headers. Yeah,
In the background, I just have sort of a.
Yeah, there is a text editor in the templates for the contract. So when you're building that template, you'll be able to do that. Yeah.
Now Kelly is saying something about the ability to make partial payments.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the other button that you had clicked on. Now, I guess, can you allow that and disallow it? Because for some people, if you want payment in full up front, you wouldn't want a partial payment.
Don't do the work.
Yeah, that's all in the how you set up your invoicing options. You can give them the option to do a partial payment or not.
Oh, good. Okay.
Great.
That's a lot of features.
Yeah.
And then
Killer.
Tiffany again says, can we forward emails to start a to-do list? Tiffany, do you want to unmute and explain this a little bit?
Forward emails from Google into 17 Hats?
Or from
she's talking about the checklist.
Yeah, well, yeah, like, so say a client sends you something and you have to do something. So can you forward it into 17 Hats so that it kind of starts a process?
I don't think so.
Like a task?
I don't think
Add a task to
But you can go into to-dos, right? I should screen share.
Yeah, you can manually enter it, but it's not something that you can forward an email in. You can add it to your to-dos like that, but you can't manually.
Right. So Joanne, it's not like Asana where you can forward it and it gets.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Gotcha.
what I do is I use Mariette says that she uses 17 Hats with Smart Sheets.
Okay.
I use 17 Hats with Trello. So in other words, once I have something that I need to do from my email, I forward it to my Trello and I have a separate board for each of my clients. And that's kind of how I track my tax stuff and my consulting clients that I do. So yeah, but you can add it, it's a matter of just going in and adding a little to-do inside of that client file. But what's great about it is that you can put the due dates like he's doing right here, and it'll automatically show up in your Google Calendar.
Yeah, I
Okay.
love
So that's kind of cool
How
too.
about Outlook?
Yeah, we sync automatically with Outlook and with
Yep.
Google and just about any mail service out there, with the rare exception of iCal, because iCal doesn't play nice with literally anyone.
iCal is not nice at
Yeah,
all.
and then, but the way to get around it is you just sync an iCal calendar to a Google Calendar, and it'll sync with us.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, we should. So Outlook and all that, we should automatically sync. So if there are any relevant files, when you click on that contact, like so, when I'm looking at Paul Wind, I'm going to be able to see all the relevant emails with Paul Wind. in
Okay.
5 minutes. Yeah.
So those emails feed from your Google Gmail. Then if I have Gmail, then they would show up down there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you don't really need to have the feed through. And if you can see them there anyways, right?
Yeah.
So you could copy and paste into I'm just trying to, honestly, I'd like to be able to get rid of one of the pieces, right? And
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
we're all looking for, right? With the tasks, like the task you were doing there, can you make it reoccurring, or does it have to be within the workflow to make it reoccurring?
I believe
to-do.
with the to-do, let's see. I don't think we have the to-do set up to be reoccurring. You can create a workflow though to make stuff reoccurring.
Right. So you would have, okay, that's cool.
I'm just
Thank
going
you.
to double check for you, but I think it's these are just singular. My apologies.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
So
But I can see the workflow.
Ryan, can you talk for a second just on just jumping back to the integration with QBO and the online payments? What online payment processors you guys currently work with?
Oh my goodness. Stripe, PayPal, and this is so shameful.
Put them on the spot.
Huh? Authorized.net.
Authorize.net. Thank you.
Hey, we're a good team. We're an awesome team.
I'm so glad she's here. That was awful. I'm sorry, guys.
Is there anything in the horizon for any other ones?
Yes, we have been in talks with multiple other ones. Again, due to the gentleman never tell law,
Okay.
I can't say specifically which ones at the moment.
Brandon and I would like to put a bug in your ear. QB Payments.
QB Payments. Okay, and we're really good friends with.
Good job, Joanne. Good job.
No, it's great, and we want to hear exactly that. We want to hear from you guys what you actually need, because that has a huge impact.
Because that's my struggle right now. My struggle is, I love using this integration. However, because right now I'm just making it work with PayPal.
Yeah.
And I'd rather use QB Payments, but if I use QB Payments, I'm losing that automation feature.
Yes.
And if I could click it that they're going to pay with QB Payments and have it connect into the QBO, it would be the best of both worlds, and I would be your best friend forever.
Everybody wants that Joanne
Is that what you want? You want Joanne to be your best friend
Yeah,
forever.
it's like we're gonna track revenue this year, and we're gonna track best friends forever.
That's
Best
right.
friend forever status.
Like that was off the charts. Well, and if it helps any, we've been in touch with, many of you might have seen him around, the tall, lanky, red-headed guy, David Leary. He's a chief developer evangelist for Intuit. He's always at QBO or QuickBooks Next. He's always at SleaderCon, all those. Very notable figure, but he's been a great friend and very encouraging. So we've been working with Intuit to be able to do more, because of course, they, as you're all well aware, are making a giant pivot away from desktop.
No.
Oh.
Sarah, plug your ears.
What?
And so if you haven't heard, that shit. And this is recorded, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Well, as long as I'm in trouble.
It'll live permanently on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. But David's been wonderfully kind. The rest of the Intuit gang has been very, very helpful. So we'd love to be able to do more stuff like that. We're currently the only service of this kind right now that has this QuickBooks and online integration. Like, it is us, period. And so it's been really fun for both of us to talk and to test and to see how this works. And we did it literally because a few of the users wrote in on user voice saying, we would love to see this integration. We'd love to have this feature set. The automatic bookkeeping on 17 Hats is pretty good, but for those of us who need the depth, who need to be able to, get beyond just UR and AR and get into depreciation and balance sheets and all sorts of stuff, we would love to see the two systems talk, especially because we had so many accountants who not only were using it for their own personal services, but gosh, we had accountants and bookkeepers who'd have 30 or 40 clients that they thought the system was perfect for. They would set up all of their clients on 17 Hats, and then they would be able to go in and click a button and pull a P&L from their clients and have most of the work done for them. And those who wanted more depth, they really wanted the QBO integration so they could help that customer. So both internally, it was great. Externally, it was great. But that's how it came about, was just you guys asking for it. And, it started a conversation. So we would love to explore that because it just might happen.
I'll request it every day.
Kelly has her hand up.
Zero next?
Yeah, and of course,
Zero would be great.
Yeah,
Katrina, get in there, sign up for your free account, and start asking every single day. Zero.
Well, this is a powerful app. I mean, it changed Joanne from a desktop to an online.
Not everybody knows that yet.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Well, I'm real tempted to put my company on QBO.
I know. I thought I would never do that, and my account is on QBO January 1.
Yeah. Well, and we are still, and I know that the dev team's already talking about. In fact, I think it might be live. I'll double check. Here, give me just a second. I'm gonna double check something for you.
Hot news. We're gonna right now.
Hot news.
There we go. Hot off the front.
Live from Pasadena, California. I won't do that to you guys anymore. I'm so sorry.
No.
It's the
This is
17th.
happy hour. We're happy.
17th.
Dina, can I show you guys one other thing before
yeah.
we get off? I want to show you something.
Oh yeah. Oh, quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
QuickBooks Desktop is live. So we are now live with QuickBooks Desktop.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to desktop.
Wait,
then.
what? I'm sorry. What was that? I'm sorry. What?
What?
Wow. Brian's doing his happy dance.
What?
Yeah, everybody get into your happy
I
dance.
almost forgot. I was just hold that in you. Saving the best for last.
That was awesome.
If you are on QuickBooks Desktop,
All
this
right,
is
I'm going to go back to desktop then.
You're not allowed, Joanne. You can't go back. Come on.
Video to come. Video to come soon.
So, if we post a payment in desktop, will it go up to 17 Hats until 17 Hats?
Well, what I believe what it is right now is I believe you can do an export of that data, and you have
to export.
Yeah, so that's what I believe it is.
Is it an I think it's an IIF export. That's
Probably a lot of pushing and
It's
pulling.
a push.
Yeah.
Push.
Yeah.
Push.
You gotta just push that old
You're
technology.
supposed to be doing all this in 17 Hats and then push it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Do we have any more questions? Katrina, did you have your hand up? Are you looking a question?
Is that for QuickBooks Desktop for Mac also?
Oh my gosh, nothing.
Oh.
Nothing works with
It's
Mac.
the way the SDK is. I'm sure.
QuickBooks for Mac, nobody should be on it.
No.
I know. I have a client on it, and he's a photographer. I so want to put him in 17 Hats.
Have him call me. I'll set him up on QuickBooks Online.
Oh,
I can get him a really good price.
QBO.
Yeah, if you have a creative entrepreneur
I
client,
know.
they're just a mess, and you want to take care of them, get them set up on this. They will love you. Their business is way more likely to succeed and way more likely to really do well, and they'll praise your name. And
They will.
yeah,
You know what you need, Ryan? You need a sample, videos and a sample client that is an accountant.
yes.
Because some people can't think outside the box like we can.
Yeah.
Says Sarah, who wants to pull from desktop to 17
Yeah.
Hats.
Well, that's why we have a Mary.
That's outside the box. That's right.
That's me.
Yeah, that's her.
me.
She's been the one
I'm
schooling all
representing
of
you
us.
guys. I'm representing you.
And doing it well. Thank you very much. You wanted to show us something before we go, Mariette.
Yeah, I wanted to show you one more thing. Actually, it's kind of a follow-up on what Tiffany was asking, so I want to kind of show her that.
Make sure you share your screen. There we go.
Here it comes.
You see me? Oh, so cute again. Okay, so when you were asking about the to-do list, so like Joanne says, I think we all do other to-do lists. Some people have Asana, some people have a Smartsheet, some people have Trello. we could be all over the place. But what I've realized with 17 Hats, which I love, and this is pretty new, they have this new area where you can actually keep whatever is associated to that customer, and you can add notes to them. You can follow all their emails. So here's an email. This is perfect. This is me responding back to the email. So this is my client responding back to me and saying, so excited to hear from you. Let's move forward. So every email from that particular project is in the same place.
Automatically?
Automatically.
Yeah.
Automatically. So there you go. So notes, emails, files that I send the client, to-do list, events. This is what Joanne was saying about putting it on the calendar.
Yeah.
So this is really good, guys, because this is really a one-stop shop for all of your transactions with that customer.
And to see the last two things, you can even, this is good for some of your clients that may not have like T-sheets. They have a little time log.
Yeah.
And that little time log can log time and then get converted to an invoice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
We
cute,
also have,
especially if you're doing a dial-in work cleanup or something.
Nice.
So this is, I think that if you want to really use this in one place, this is what you want to take advantage of, this area right here.
Like
Thanks,
a little
Can I ask
CRM.
a question regarding the emails?
Yeah.
Does the email, you said it tracks by project. Does it track by email address or by project?
By email address.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I've got one customer, I've got multiple projects going on, it's still going to track by email address, not necessarily by project then.
Yeah. So it's going to pull
Client-oriented.
Okay.
It's going to pull the email address oriented with that person. So it's not just going to just because we can't read all of your emails.
You're not Google.
This can be problematic.
They're not Google yet. They're not Google yet.
And this is why I will say this though, to help that work really, really well, both, communications both in and out. Sometimes it is nice to remind your client that whatever email they first contacted you with, they should continue to use that email to contact you and talk to you, because that's the email that synced with the account. And so we've had people, and again, it's client error where the client will decide to switch emails halfway through and be emailing in, and it won't be associated with the account, so it won't pop up. So I would just
Sounds like something I would do.
yeah.
Can you associate multiple emails to this one client?
Right now I'm pretty sure. I think it's just one.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's something we should.
If I have a client and their assistant, say.
Yeah.
Well, you can add an associated person without, and they don't really get changed as a look underneath contact type.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually add a separate contact type for that specific person if you wanted to.
Okay.
Do you think their email will pull in?
Well, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to email the same
You can choose. I think you have to choose which email.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah. Yeah, we just learned so much.
So
together.
Ryan.
Oh, you can add multiple emails. Yes, I'm in contact. You can add multiple emails that you can trace. Still, if they change and you don't know that they've changed that email,
True.
it's a bit difficult. But yeah, it should be that if you add those multiple emails to that client, it should also phone number.
Is that 365 that email? Oh, that's Outlook.
Oh, I'm in Outlook right now.
Okay.
I'm just testing it to see if it's going to come through. I just emailed from this person for this client, this customer, from her different email address. I'm curious if it's going to come through. So.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Pamela, I think you had a question. Did you have your hand up? You're muted. Can you come off of mute down in the lower left-hand corner?
I'll let you guys know if it happens. I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't let us know if it doesn't happen, by the way. Just don't say anything.
Just go score. Yes, it happened.
It happened. If you don't hear from me, let's assume what happened.
And we're just gonna I'll call the CTO yo, dude, you gotta code something now.
It's
really, type it in the chat.
Intense.
I will. I'll type it in the chat.
Okay. So 17 hats for lead generation, contracts, general workflows, CRM, communications, but we can use Trello, Smartsheets, or whatever for all those details and task and reoccurring and all. So we could couple this with whatever we're using for the nitty gritty
task management. Mhm.
This is more administrative, over the top, and billing and revenue and
All
accounting.
encompassing, like an umbrella.
I would agree with you, Sarah. I would agree with you because a real nice view of everything.
Mhm.
Honestly, Smartsheet is the only one that does it for me. I mean, literally, you know, but everything else is 17 hats. So yeah, they work together. They're a good team.
Nice, nice. So the last question, we are almost out of time, but let's talk about price.
Oh.
Sorry.
we're so enamored. We're like, ah.
Okay, so pricing. In fact, here, you go to like 17hats.com. It should be pretty simple. I'll pull it up just so I don't say anything wrong. All right, so pricing right now starts at, you can do a monthly plan. That's $29 a month. But really what most people do, almost everybody does either a yearly or a bi-yearly plan. So a yearly plan goes down, it's $199. That brings you down to $17 a month, save $149. Bi-yearly is $299. You save $397, and it's only $13 a month. And if you sign up, and of course you can go on here, try it for free, and like it's name, email, you get full access to the full product. Try it out, make sure it's the right fit for you. We have people who are available to do setup calls with you. We have training videos online. We have all sorts of resources available. And then if you sign up during that trial, there's a little discount you can often get. So yeah, I think when what does that bring it down to? But I mean, you're talking, you know, in the ballpark of 40 cents a day, as low as that to do this. So
It's an
If we
amazing.
mention Joanne's name, what kind of discount do we get?
huh?
Affiliates.
If we mention Joanne's name, what kind of discount do we get?
I love that.
Well, let's see. Actually, if any of these people are already 17 Hats users and you guys as a group want to hang out, they should have the ability,
We all have links.
yeah, to give you a code, and so they get a free month and you get a discount, and everybody's happy.
And start pushing out your link, Joanne. Just push it out.
Yeah.
Push it out to every group that we are in.
Every time I do that, I get kicked out of groups.
I know, that's why.
Well,
Not our group.
I get kicked out of groups because I talk about 17 hats.
I'll say this, just so you guys are aware. So pricing will eventually go up because, you know, this is the pricing we had when we started, you know, almost a year and a half ago now. And the service was 1/4 of what we have today. The features are
We'll be grandfathered in.
Yes, you will. Whatever price you get at first, you're locked in for life.
All right, I dropped my link. I dropped it in the chat.
Good.
Where's the chat? Chat. Where are you?
In the notes.
Ryan, I have a message for you in chat too.
Oh, you do?
A private message
Oh
for
boy.
my BFF.
Uh-oh.
For my BFF.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I use a Zoho CRM, and I use it primarily as kind of like a central place for all my clients' emails and notes and attachments and that kind of thing. Does 17 Hats have something comparable to that where, because like I practically live in Zoho as far as, you know, switching back and forth between clients for, you know, looking up their passwords and, you know, checking their emails and taking
So
notes.
you want notes and kind of things in addition.
Well, something that could replace, if I wanted to switch from Zoho to 17 Hats, I mean, because that's what I use it mainly for, is the, you know, like the Client Central in terms of having all the emails in one spot, my notes that when I've talked to them and made notes to myself, and you know, passwords and that kind of stuff, and what would be the security on that?
Yeah. What's the security on it? Is that the question?
Well,
Yeah.
that's part of the question. But is there something comparable? I mean, the 17 Hats kind of do what Zoho does in a comparable way. The way
Yes. I mean, you know, kind of like, you know, we've talked about it from a few different ways of whether you're in, you know, the lead or the contact. You know, the whole idea is that you can see the entire life cycle of what's going on. So there at the bottom, you can make notes when you talk to them. So it'd be like
Can you attach something?
Yep.
yeah, you can attach files. Talk to the client about circus clown accounting.
Nice.
That client needs psychological help, but
We have like a lot of permanent documents that I'd love to just have in the CRM, like a
And
copy
so-
of their 501c3 and things like that.
Absolutely. Oh man, gosh, I ran a nonprofit for 10 years. That just gave me a horrible flashback.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You just gave him the heebie-jeebies.
Our
Call's over.
Our 1023 application was 80 pages long, single spec.
Oh, okay.
Fun times. Fun times. Okay. But yeah, so you can add notes just like you would on there, and of course, keep in mind whenever you send out a client a questionnaire, because a lot of that information, it sounds like you're asking the client to give you information, you have it live in the same place. So when you build your workflow for these people that you're talking to, I would say build a questionnaire that has all that information that you're wanting to get from the client. And so, and again, I'm so sorry, this one's a wedding specific, but kind of like what Mariette had, you can put in all those questions, the key pieces of information that the client will fill out for you. And like here, I'll show you a quick questionnaire to be able to grab that information. I know we're running out of time here, folks.
It's creating a database of all that information.
Yeah. And so
Better ID number is going to be the same
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can create that for you, and it will all live under the contact. So you can make that questionnaire, and it's so simple. This box is in the way.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. It's not your fault. Like I could have moved you. So
Just move her out of the way.
All dragging.
okay, so like let's say I want to make Paul's questionnaire.
And you're creating a database, a
Questionnaire template.
yeah.
Template,
Yeah. And
as Ryan creates that, let me just tell you what I use for this template, which I think is amazing, is this is how I do my scheduling. So I'll send this to a client that's going to have a prospective call, assessment call, and I'll put the dates and when I'm available. Then they come back, they check when they want to meet with me, and I put that onto my Google Calendar. So that's what I use the questionnaire for, and I love it.
Yeah.
But can I write a report one day that could say I'm collecting all kinds of information on all these different clients, that I could see a report with all
the questionnaires?
asking the same question over and over for all your clients, then see a report of all those answers.
Yeah, you'll get it right now. I think he's going to show you when they're done and the questionnaire has been filled out. You'll actually have the questionnaire filled out under that project.
Right, under that project. But can I step back as a manager of my entire client base and see reports?
Yeah, she's wondering, like, if somebody says can she run a report for all clients? When did they run their last taxes?
Are they S corps? I want to see a list of
Or all S corps? Can you run a thing for all S corps? That type of thing. So like I don't think
like tag it. So tag certain words out of the questionnaire, basically. You're getting really technical.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds like a
Well,
tag.
I'm stepping back as a manager over a
trying to
large
get the biggest
group
bang
instead of
for 17
lasering in on one project, one client. But yeah, we could have another Zoom.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
okay. Yeah, and so as you can see, it's really easy to just go
Ton.
whatever you needed to do. All these things, they need to choose from a list. They need check boxes. Yes, no, long answer, short answer, date.
Text.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. You can build all this, and then let's save.
It's a pretty program. That's important.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you can change the background too. You don't have to have that ugly wood.
Whoa.
I like the wood.
I like the wood.
It's very neutral.
You can change the background. Yeah, if you're not into skeuomorphism, then
Joanne, what is yours? Purple? Is yours purple?
Mine's like purple galaxy type.
So,
Oh,
we just made that questionnaire, and so I can go into here. I can add an action into the workflow, and it's going to send the questionnaire. I'm going to have it be that Paul's questionnaire that you guys just watched me build. To let's say it was a questionnaire to collect some of that info. Of course, I haven't had all the time to build it out.
Yeah.
And I've added that questionnaire to the workflow, and so this is now built in. And I can choose, I can edit it, do all sorts of stuff. And so now, whenever you want to collect all that information, you can very quickly do that. And as soon as the client fills it out, it will show up
It'll show up in
under Paul Wind. And so then all the information that you want to capture about that client and have live in one place, along with all of your notes, is going to show up here. And so you'll see that where it says incomplete right now. And see all the relevant data from the client. So you're never going to have to hunt and pack through emails or through different management softwares. The idea is that it's all in one place.
Mhm.
So if that helps with that. So yeah.
So are you guys in love? Are you absolutely in love? Because I'm even more in love. I love 17.
Do you know what I'm in love with?
What?
The fact that they're wanting to listen to us and get ideas and improve and grow.
I
Okay,
agree.
there's so many programs you go in and they're so stagnant and they haven't done anything and
they're almost there, but not quite.
right. And so even if it's not a perfect fit, every single time I look at 17 Hats, they've added something or solved something. So that's what I like.
Well, they make my brain hurt.
Well, and that's the thing is like we're trying to put in as much work as we possibly can. So when you actually use it, you don't really have to think about all the magic that's going on behind the scene.
Absolutely. Your brain only hurts while you're setting it up. Once it's set up, then it's automagic.
But that's the most important part. I think Mariette and I have always discussed whenever we talk about 17 Hats with people is the fact that you should be doing this during this time of the year, because this is the most important time of year that you guys are going through so many little teeny steps. And just take a break and say, let me write all this down.
Right.
Then you can actually evaluate, because I actually evaluated a lot of stuff and said, I don't need that stuff.
Yeah.
I want to make this the same across the board and you will kind of simplify your whole process of how you operate your business, and you're probably going to save yourself a crap ton of time. For sure.
1099. A whole workflow at 1099.
Yeah.
I think at first it's overwhelming. No, honestly, I think at first it's overwhelming to think you're gonna add this to your tax season. Someone would think you're nuts. But this is the only time, like Joanne said, you're gonna reinvent your business. You're pretty much reinventing your tax practice. What better time to do it than during tax season?
Oh, yeah.
Pain causes growth. You need that pain, and then you want to solve it. If you wait till summertime and you have all this time to do it, you don't have the pain.
And your brain's not there. You're on vacation. You're on vacation. Okay, you're not there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, my husband's like, vacation? What's that?
Yeah.
Alrighty, everybody, we are a little bit over.
We're overtime.
That's worth it.
I know it was a great meeting today. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Marianne.
Group selfie with all of us.
Yay! Yes.
I'm gonna do a selfie of us too. Okay, ready?
Okay.
A selfie.
We look good, just so you know. We look great.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for letting a non-accountant join you today. I'm honored and terrified whenever I get these invitations.
Oh, you did wonderful. We love you.
We'll break
I've
in.
really been stressed all week about this call, and then Mariette came and saved me. Yeah, she's the best. So thank you, Mariette.
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
On that note, we'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for organizing this, Gina.
Bye-bye.